Today we're doing time differences. This is something that gets mucked up a lot in exams. People can be good at time, but some people are not good at all with it. So I'm going to show you, sometimes you can use your calculator and other times we're just going to go with common sense. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going with common sense. So we need the time difference between 6:15 p.m. and 8:10 p.m. So it might be that something starts at 6:15 p.m. and finishes at 8:10 p.m. and you want to know how long it goes for. So we're going to start with the time they give us, which is 6:15 p.m. Now I want you always to take it to the next hour, which would be 7 p.m. Now after that you can probably go straight to 8:10 p.m. and I'll show you what happens. We're looking at the time differences here. So if you go from here to here, between 6:15 p.m. and 7 p.m, I'm sure you all know that that's 45 minutes. So I'm leaving a gap here for hours because there are none, and I'm going to write 45 minutes over here. Now, the gap or the time difference between 7 p.m. and 8:10 p.m. is 1 hour and 10 minutes. And I know that most of you would know that. So what we need to do now is add these up. Okay, so we're going to add up the minutes. So we've got 5, 4 and 1, 5. Or you can put that in your calculator, 45 plus 10 if you need to. So we've got that many minutes and we have 1 hour here at the beginning. So that's the easiest way, I think, to logically work through the process. All right, this next one's given to you in 24-hour time. We're still going to start with the time they gave you first up. We're still going to take it to the next hour. So remember, when we've got 24-hour time, the first 2 digits are your hours and the next 2 digits are your minutes. So if we take it to the next hour, we're taking it to 08 and we want zeros here. Then we're going to see if we can jump straight to 13:10. Alright, so let's have a look at our time differences then. So from 7:25 to 8 o'clock, you've got 35 minutes. Just leave a gap for the hours. And then from 8 o'clock to 13:10, we're going from 8 to 13, so that would be 5 hours and 10 minutes. So now we're just adding up these time differences to see what we get. So add up our minutes, and we have 45 minutes, and we've only got the 5 hours there, and that's your answer. So let's look at the next one and do it the same way. So we're starting with our start time. Take it to your next hour, which would be 5 a.m. And then this might be confusing some of you, so I think it should be all right. When we hit 12 p.m, that's at midday or noon, right? That's in the middle of the day. So we go from 11:59 a.m. and then we go to 12 and it clocks straight over to p.m. at that time. So just remember that that time is just after midday. Alright, it clocks straight over. So when you're in the middle of the night, that is 12 a.m. because it clocks over to the morning times. Alright, so the next one we have here is our finish time, and we'll see if we can get through to that knowing that it's just after midday. Alright, so from 4:10 a.m. to 5 a.m. is 50 minutes. Leave a gap for the hours. And then from 5 a.m. till 12 would be 7 hours. And then the 15 minutes. Okay, I'm going to add these up. Now, when we add these minutes up, we get to 65 minutes, and this is 7 hours. Now, it didn't happen with these others, right? 55 minutes is fine, 45 minutes was fine, but this one was 65 minutes. That's gone over the next hour, right? So this bit here is a bit trickier. So that is 1 hour and 5 minutes. So we've got to add it to our 7 hours and we get 8 hours, 5 minutes. So that one's a bit harder to do. But just persist with it and take it slowly through the process and you will get there. Okay, I'll just underline all these answers so you can see them. All right, now this next one, when you're just adding hours and minutes, so we're not looking at like times, so we're not looking at AM and PM times, we're not looking at 24-hour time. We're just looking at time differences in hours and minutes. If it's something like these ones, you can just use your calculator. Right, so what we're going to press in the calculator, I'll just write it in red here, we're going to press 15 and then the degrees button. Some people like calling it the bubble key. And then we press 57, press it again, minus 9, press it again, 48, press it again, and equals. So that's what we're going to press in. I'll show you what it looks like when we do it. So get your calculators. All right, so we're going to be doing 15 hours and 57 minutes. So we're doing 15, press this key here, right, and then 57, press it again, and it looks like that. Now it means 15 hours, 57 minutes. Now we press our minus, and we want to do 9 hours, 48 minutes, so we're doing 9 hours, 48 minutes. Then we press equals. Now that answer is 6 hours, 9 minutes, and no seconds. So we're just going to write 6 hours, 9 minutes, and 0 seconds we're not going to bother with. It's just 6 hours, 9 minutes. All right, so we're going to try all of these on the calculator now. Right, so you can try it yourself. 9, bubble key, I'll call it the bubble key. 37, bubble key, plus 2, bubble key, 52, bubble key. Should look like that on your calculator. Press equals. 12 hours, 29 minutes, no seconds. All right, let's try the next one. You can do this yourself. So we're doing 8, bubble key, 18, bubble key, minus 3, bubble key, 27, bubble key, equals, and we get 4 hours, 51 minutes, no seconds. So 4 hours, 51 minutes. Okay, so on to the next type of question. So they will be asking you things like what time will it be, so many hours and minutes after a particular time. So for instance, we might say you start watching a movie at 10:35 p.m. The movie goes for 3 hours and 29 minutes. What time is it when the movie's finished? Okay, that sort of question. So we're going to start with the time they give us, 10:35 p.m. And what we're going to do with these is we're going to add things on one part at a time. So the first thing we're going to add on is the 3 hours. All right, it's too much to add the hours and minutes all on together, and you can't use your calculator for this because you've got an AM or a PM time. You can't put that in your calculator. Okay, so if we add 3 hours, we're at 10 p.m. at the moment. So we've got 11 p.m., 12 a.m. because it clicks over to morning, 1 a.m. There's your 3 hours. So we're now at 1 a.m. and the minutes hasn't changed. All right, now we're going to add on our 29 minutes. All right, now, if we add on our 29 minutes, it looks like we're going to have to do this in parts, okay? Because how many more minutes is it to get to 2 a.m.? That's 25, right? So instead of adding on 29, I'm going to add on 25 to start with, and that gets me right on 2 a.m. Now I'm going to add on the rest of the minutes that I haven't added on yet, which is another 4 minutes. And I end up with 2:04 a.m. and that's your answer. All right, let's look at the next question. We're starting at 6:17 p.m. We're looking for a time after that, so we're adding on our time differences. This is pretty easy. We're only adding on 9 hours. Well, we think it's easy, don't we? But let's see what happens. We're at 6 p.m, right? At night time. If you add 9 hours, you're going to go past midnight. So if you're not very good with that, let's just go and add 6 hours, because we know that's going to take us to our 12. Right, so if we add 6 hours to our 6 that we've already got there, we're going to get to 12. That hasn't changed. And remember, we're at midnight now, so we've clocked over to AM times. Now, I haven't added the whole 9 hours, have I? So I've got 3 more hours I need to add on. And then this bit should be easy enough. We're just adding it to the 12. And, oh, we're not adding it to the 12. Just think about it. You're at midnight. It's going to be 3, 17, and we're still in the morning. Okay, so you're not actually adding it on to the 12, are you? So just think about that logically. We're at midnight, add 3 hours, we're at 3 AM. All right, next one. We're starting at 4:30 AM. And do the easy bit first. We're going to add on 4 hours. And if you do that, you'll get to 8:30 AM. Now we've got to add on another quarter of an hour. Now, how many minutes is in a quarter of an hour? It's a quarter of 60 minutes, isn't it? So what's 1/4 of 60? 1/4 times 60. You can work that out on your calculator. It's 15. So really what we're doing is adding 15 minutes. So we've got our 8 AM sorted already. Let's add 15 minutes onto our 30 here, and we get 45. And that's the answer to the question. So we've done lots today on time differences. There is another part in this exercise on timetables, reading train timetables and bus timetables. I thought it was easy for me to put a YouTube clip on for this. So I want you to watch the YouTube clip. You don't need to write anything down about it. Just watch it, listen and learn. And then you're going to do your homework and we'll see if you really understand those timetables. All right, lots of practice, boys.